What's up, y'all? This is Patrick for Life, and this is a big video. This is not only my NFL Week 4 predictions like I do every week. I'm going to make predictions for the Division League Series for both the AL and the NL. Now, let's start with the Division League Series for this 2011 MLB playoffs. First game is the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, who did a miracle September to play here against the Texas Rangers. Now, the Texas Rangers are a good team. Josh Hamilton can hit. The pitching core seems good enough. And they can sure score a lot of runs, I'll tell you that. The Rays, they're resilient. And you can't forget about Evan Longoria. Man, that boy can play. Now, I think when it comes down to it, it'll be too much offense from the Rangers. And the Rangers are going to win 4 games. Now, the second game tonight is the Tigers at Yankee Stadium to play the Yankees. Now, this is going to be a tough series. I mean, the Tigers, they can hit well, and they've dominated this year. They played really well, you know. And Justin Verlander, he had like 25 wins, 24, 25. He's had an extraordinary year. And I think he's facing CC Sabathia. Now, if the Tigers can win the first game against the Yankees, I think it goes to 5 games. But if the Yankees win game 1, I think the Yankees win in 4. But it's either going to be 4 or 5. So that's going to be 2 tough series. Now, I go to the NL, and I'm looking because those games start tomorrow on Saturday. So the first game is for the NLDS is the Diamondbacks at the Brewers. Now, this is tough. The Diamondbacks are a good team. They improved. You know, it's funny because 10 years ago, in 2001, they had a remarkable postseason to win the World Series. One of the best World Series ever, 2001. An emotional World Series, too, for Yankees fans. So, I mean, not Cardinals. The Diamondbacks, they're a good team. The Brewers, they had 2 MVPs on their team, literally. I mean, Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder. The Brewers can hit, and the pitching is pretty solid. I think I'm going to go here with the Brewers. The Brewers are going to win here in 5. And the last one is a showdown. The Cardinals, who had a remarkable September to get here to play against the best team in baseball this year, the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, the Cardinals, Chris Carpenter, they have a good pitching core. If Carpenter can step up in game 1, they got a chance. Well, Albert Pujols, Lance Berkman, they got good hitters. But the Phillies, I mean, they got so many dangerous players. Shane Victorino, Jimmy Rollins, Ryan Howard, Chase Utley. I think, yeah, he's with the team. And the pitching core is the best in baseball. Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels. Is Jamie Moyer? I think he's a pitcher on that team. Roy Oswald. That's a dominant pitching core. You know, I think the Cardinals will find a way to get 1 victory. So, I think that the Phillies are going to win here 3 games to 1. Now, on to my NFL predictions. Now, the first game on my list here is the Bills at the Bengals. Now, let me start with the Bengals since they're the worst of the 2 teams. The Bengals, they haven't played that well. The first week, they had a good win against the Browns. The second week, they almost beat the Broncos. Last week, they could have beaten the 49ers in the defensive battle, 13-8. Now, the Bills, I officially take them seriously because what they did against Tom Brady, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, 4 picks. They were down 21-zip late in the first half, come back and win in remarkable fashion. The Bills are going to run over the Bengals here. I'm sorry. It's too much of the Bills, to be honest with you. Next, the Titans at the Browns. Now, both the teams are 2-1. You know, the Titans, Matt Hasselbeck, you know, the rushing game this year for the Titans sucks. Titan fans know this. You guys be mom, okay? Now, but Matt Hasselbeck, he's been throwing the ball 2 straight 300-yard passing games. He has to throw the ball this year because the rushing game is not on point as of now. There'll be one game, I bet you, where Chris Johnson will explode and run over, you know. The Browns, Peyton Hillis, he's a good running back. They got a good offense. They found a way to win games, but I think I'm going to actually go with the Browns here to beat the... I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the Titans to beat the Browns here. Yeah. Now, this is a big pivotal game for week 2. A big game. Week 4, sorry. The Steelers at the Texans. Now, both teams need these. Both teams need this victory. The Texans are 2-1. They had a great game last week. Offensive shootout with Drew Brees and the Saints, only losing 40-33. The offense is stellar, but I'm having problems with the defense. The defense looks very vulnerable. Now the Steelers, it's a must-win. Last week, they barely got a victory over the Indianapolis Colts without Manning playing. They barely won by a field goal, and that was without Manning. Imagine Manning played. They would have won by 2 touchdowns. Freddie Mathis gave them hell. Okay, so the Steelers, they're a good team. You know, Roethlisberger's on point. The running's on point. The rushing was on point last week. Freddie Mathis just stop that shit. Roethlisberger had a good game. He had like a 300-yard passing game last week. So I believe that the Steelers are going to find a way to get a victory in Houston. So I'm going with the Steelers. Now, another big game for week 4. The Lions go down to Cowboys Stadium to face the Cowboys. Now, let me start with the Lions. The Lions have had a remarkable year. The offense is stellar. They came back last week from 20-zip down at the half to beat a good Vikings team. The defense is sensational, led by Ndamukong Suh. The offense is good with the tandem of Stafford and Calvin Johnson. Now, the Cowboys, you know, Romo, he played his heart out all 4 games. I mean, all 3 games. The last 2 games, he's hurt. You know, with the game with the Redskins, he had pain injections. The offense is playing pretty good. You know, they may have not had a touchdown. They had 6 field goals, but they did what they had to get the victory against a good Redskins team. The rushing is good. The defense played well. DeMarcus Ware's on fire. So, you know what? I think the Cowboys are going to get a victory against the Lions in week 4 in Dallas. So, I'm going to go with the Cowboys here. Now, another big game for week 4. The 49ers at the Eagles. Now, I know what you're wondering. Years ago, you wouldn't say this. But this year, I'm going to say it. It's a big game. The 49ers and Eagles for both teams. Now, the Eagles have been struggling. Last week, they lost. You know, Vic, he broke his right hand, but I guess he didn't break it. It was like a spasm, so it's going to heal. Luckily, that's not his throwing hand. He's left-handed. So, the Eagles are struggling. They need Vic badly. You know, Vic is on the skin of his teeth. He barely can play at 100%. Now, the 49ers, Frank Gore has just been destroying. What I'm telling you, Frank Gore has been literally destroying teams left and right. He pounded against the Cowboys. He pounded against the Cardinals. He pounded against the Seahawks. He's destructive. And the quarterback, Alex Smith, is actually doing pretty good. But I think the Eagles are going to get the victory in Philly. So I'm going to go with the Eagles. Now, the Panthers and the Bears. This is the pivotal game for both teams. Now, this game is in Soldier Field. So Cam Newton, this is his first big road test of his NFL career against a sensational Chicago Bears defense. You know, I think the factor here for the Bears for this game is if Cutler plays like he did last week, Even though they lost, he had over 300 yards passing. If Cutler can have a good game, and the defense holds, which I believe they will do against Cam Newton, a rookie quarterback, the Bears are going to get a good victory here, and I'm going to go with the Bears to win. Another big game. Not really a big game, but the Redskins go down to St. Louis to play the Rams. Now, the Rams are struggling. Sam Bradford can't find no rhythm. They've been beat badly 3 times. The Rams, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's going on with the offense. I really don't. You know? Wait, who they're playing again? Sorry, I get through to remember sometimes. The Redskins. Now, the Redskins barely lost last week. They could have beaten the Cowboys, honestly. If you look at the game on Monday night, they could have beaten the Cowboys. But, you know, the Redskins, Rex Grossman's playing pretty damn good. The rushing is alright. The defense is good. I'm going to go with the Redskins here to win in St. Louis. Now, is this a 4 o'clock? Oh, this is still, we still have the 1 o'clock games. Okay. The Saints and the Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars are just playing bad. They're just playing bad, you know. Now, the Saints, last week they won a shootout against Houston in the Superdome. This time they go to Jacksonville. I think it's going to be too much of Drew Brees, and the Saints are going to win here. Now, this is a big game for both teams. A game of 2 0-3 teams. The Vikings at the Chiefs. The Chiefs have officially the worst team in the league at this moment in the season. The offense wasn't picking up. You know, last week, but, you know, they only lost by 3 last week, which was promised. But they didn't get a first down. Their first down of the game was in till the 3rd quarter. Their first down against the Chargers. Don't get me wrong, the Chargers are a great defense, you know. The Vikings, all 3 games they lost, they should have won. Without a shadow of a doubt. So that's why I say that the Chargers, not Chargers, the Vikings are going to win here in Kansas City. Chiefs don't have the offense to come back. So I'm going to go with the Vikings here. Now 4 o'clock games. Now the Giants at the Cardinals. That's going to be a big game, you know. The Giants are playing damn good. I like the way Eli Manning's played the last 2 games. You know. They're playing good. The Cardinals have been playing well. They just lost 2 games they should have won. You know, they could have beaten Washington, but they just lost. I'm probably going to be wrong here, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals to beat New York in Arizona. Now, this is a okay 4 o'clock game. A game of 2 1-2 teams. The Falcons at the Seahawks. The Falcons at this point are too good to be 1-2. Last week, but they've had tough games. You know, the Bears, the Bucks, and the Eagles. Those are not an easy schedule. This week, they get an easy game. They play the Seattle Seahawks, who have barely won last week. So, I'm going to go with the Falcons, okay? Now, here's a big 4:15 game. The Broncos versus the Packers in Lambeau Field. I'm telling you now, this is going to be a quarterback shootout with Orton and Rodgers. 2 great quarterbacks. 2 quarterbacks that can air it out. The rushing game will not mean nothing because both teams can stop the run. The Broncos have a good defense, but the Packers defense is sensational. But I'm going to go with the Packers here to win, okay? Now, this is a big 4 o'clock game. The Patriots against the Raiders. Both teams are 2-1. You know, the Patriots should have won last week, but Brady just had one of the worst games of his career, even though he threw for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. But the big thing of the game was 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 picks against a Bills defense, okay? Now, I was right last week in my prediction that the Raiders were going to beat the Jets. I knew it because the Jets, the Jets weren't battle ready so far in the season. And I knew the Raiders would run. Now, McFadden will get yards. I think Fan can run against